maybe let me take one. Do you think AI will change the role of recruitment?
Yes. I love all. Give yourself time. Learning a whole new industry.
Welcome everyone to 𝐤𝐫𝐞𝐜 Connect, the show where we bring amazing guests from across the world of work. Recruiters, founders, career coaches, job seekers, hiring managers, and more. Real people, real stories, real advice for you to use. I'm your host, Kush, co-founder of 𝐤𝐫𝐞𝐜. My guest today is Krystle, founder of Jolie Recruitment, Australia's newest female-led Rec2Rec agency. Krystle spent 15 years inside some of Australia's most respected recruitment firms. 𝐡𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐲, Randstad, global travel company called Travel Counselors, moving from consulting all the way to senior managers. She placed candidates, she built teams, she has led desks through good markets and brutal ones. She's also the woman that recruiters call when they make a move, because she knows which agencies actually are worth your time and which one just a good sales pitch. Earlier this year, she founded Jolie Recruitment. Krystle, welcome to the show. Krystle,
Thanks.
would you like to share your mission behind Jolie Recruitment?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. My mission behind Jolie Recruitment was to not reinvent the wheel with Rec2Rec. We have some amazing Rec2Recs here in Australia, but I did feel like there probably wasn't any new female Rec2Recs in the market for a long time. So my mission was to start Jolie Recruitment and recruit with a little bit more empathy, feeling, and a bit more of a feminine touch.
That is wonderful. So I keep on hearing, Krystle, most people don't plan to get into recruitment. It just kind of happens to them. What's your story? How did you end up in this industry?
Yeah, and I think that that's so funny because every single person that I speak to who is in recruitment, they did not plan to get into recruitment at all. Everyone, including myself, fell into recruitment. So my story starts a long time ago, 15 years ago, where we used to still fax timesheets. There wasn't any AI. I was actually a travel agent, and I was a travel agent for 5 years, and I was looking to move jobs. I saw an ad on 𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐿 and I thought, this is strange. This company's advertising, but they're not telling me like what their name is. That's really strange. I'm going to call this company. And it was a recruitment agency. Never heard of a recruitment agency before. Didn't understand why they couldn't tell me the client name until I met with them. It was all very, very new to me. Ended up going in, register for travel agent jobs. And in the end, they actually said, have you ever thought about recruitment? I said, no, obviously, I'd never even heard of it. A couple of weeks later, I was their new temp consultant, managing temps for travel recruitment. So we specialized in travel recruitment. So I was placing travel agents, reservation agents, sales managers, all within the travel industry. So I went from industry into travel recruitment industry.
That's an amazing story, because, it's definitely always there a foundation. You spent years climbing this ladder inside the agencies. You walked away all of that, a senior title, a team, a stability, start Jolie from scratch. What happened? What was that moment when you said, oh, I've got this?
Yeah. It's such a strange thought for me because I never grew up in recruitment thinking I want to own my own agency. Like that thought plan or thought process was never even on my radar. I'd moved from my first recruitment job. I was there for 4 years. It was a small agency. We were very successful in the travel industry. There was 3 of us in the Melbourne office. And I moved into an internal role with Travel Counselors, the global travel agency. But the deciding factor for me, sorry, went on a bit of a tangent then. The deciding factor for me to leave my team at 𝐡𝐢𝐫𝐞𝐜 was a hard decision. It's hard when there isn't anything broken. There's a lot of fear. I absolutely loved my team. I loved people that I worked with. I loved the business that I worked with. However, something just inside of me knew that I wanted something more, and that if I didn't try now, it might be too late and I might never have the guts to do it. So the thought actually came to me while my husband and I, Dean, we were on holidays in Bali, and I had a Rec2Rec reach out to me. And I said, I'm okay, I'm happy where I am. I made sure I got back to him. I'm in Bali anyway, having a great time. And he said, oh, I'm actually based in Bali. Would love to catch up for a coffee. And then it just was literally a ding. I heard the ding go off in my head, and I thought, what? You can own your own recruitment agency and work from anywhere in the world. And I just sort of finally bounced the idea off Dean, and that's how the idea came to me. That was at the start of last year, so February last year, and I was going to go with a company that actually sets you up as a recruitment agency business. So the fear was definitely there. I think that company probably helped me realize that it can be done. In the end, I actually decided not to go ahead with that company and launched Jolie on my own, which is really exciting. But yeah, that's sort of how it all started. I think when I told my agency, 𝐸𝐞𝐜𝐫𝐲, like I'm very good friends with them still, and the managers is one of my best friends. They were just excited for me. We were all very emotional. My team cried, I cried, but they rallied around me and really supported me. And I think that really eliminated a lot of the fear, just having that support and that little hoorah in the background for me.
That is such a fabulous story, because I think opening your own business, stepping your steps in complete unknown, not for faint-hearted. So definitely you're already there.
Yeah, it's not, and it's really hard. It is really, really hard to open your own agency. But when you actually break it down, it's not that hard. At the end of the day, I'm still doing the fundamentals of what I've been doing for 15 years, which is recruiting, which is making client connections, which is connecting with candidates, which is building those relationships, which I'm very good at. So I think if you actually break it down and try and remove a little bit of the fear, if you're doing it already in your everyday life, you'll be okay.
Such an inspiration, Krystle. So, Krystle, I forgot to mention our guest. I think this conversation we have broken down in 4 parts. First, as we wanted to touch base with your story, Krystle. So that's, I think, we wanted to know more about you. We wanted the audience to hear your story, that you're not taking your faith and jumping into unknown is not that, dangerous. You still survive, you're still smiling, you're looking gorgeous, it looks like everything going well for you. And the second part we'll move into is, the honest truth about the recruitment, because where we'll go next with you asking questions is, what's your take on, where the recruitment is going and what's happening. And then from there, we'll probably divert into breaking in and moving up, right? Like if somebody you put forward for recruitment, how they can move up in their career. From there, we'll move into how AI is changing the future of recruitment, and then we'll probably close. That's the pathway we're going to take today. So thanks for the great introduction and inspiring the viewers about your story.
Pleasure.
So, thank you, Krystle. And I have been doing some digging, Krystle, for our conversation. I went on your LinkedIn, and you mentioned that the recruiters right now fall into 3 buckets. Either are they loving it, they're hanging in there, or they completely checked out. Be honest with us, what is the most common conversations you are having on the phone right now?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like every recruiter goes through all 3 of those feelings in their career. I've been through all of those. It's market dependent, it's your niche dependent, it's the agency you're in. I think the ones that are just hanging in there, probably what I'm hearing out there is that they're not in a very supportive agency. They're not with managers who are taking them out on meetings and connecting them with all of their connections and opening doors for them. The ones who are doing amazing and who are loving recruiter life are the ones that are working in agencies where those managers are introducing them to decision makers and also opening a lot of doors. A lot of these managers hold those relationships within agencies, and if your manager's not doing that, then you do start to feel like you're just hanging in there, and it can be quite difficult. So I think the ones that are completely checked out are the ones who might be struggling a little bit with business development and who are having to do a lot of cold calling, which is fine. They haven't been taught the right ways to cold call, and they haven't sort of flipped the script on what an actual cold call is, because some people I speak to, recruiters, say, I hate business development. I don't want a job where I have to do business development. But to me, business development is talking to people who you already know, talking to your candidates, finding out what's going on in the market, doing a reference check and then reverse marketing that at the end of the phone conversation and booking a meeting and having a coffee with that decision maker. That's BD. But I think that we're all so ingrained in our heads that it's cold and you have to do 50 cold calls a day that people forget the actual fundamentals. Those are the ones that are checked out. And when I speak to them and I sort of remind them of those aspects of business development, I think something clicks and they're like, actually, yeah, I don't hate business development. I've just been looking at it completely wrong. So yeah, the ones who have good leadership and a bit more of a plan in agencies and a little bit of their hands held if they need it, they're the ones that aren't checked out.
I think that's quite nicely. So I think what I hear from you is like having a good manager is definitely the foundation for surviving and thriving in recruitment agencies.
Yes, absolutely. I've been there. I've been in an agency, and this is a bit embarrassing, but I moved to an agency and I did not bill for 9 months, not one placement. Now, I was the biggest biller at my agency before that. I was doing over $500,000 per year when we were using fax machines to send timesheets back 15 years ago. And then I moved to an agency and I didn't bill for 9 months. That's going to crush anyone's confidence, even if you have experience, even if you've been amazing in your previous roles. I then moved to an agency where I had the right leadership, I had the right systems, I had the right inspiration, and I got in there and I did 40K in my first month. So I truly, truly believe that it is really the environment you're in. It's that nature versus nurture argument. I'd love to do a little experiment on that, actually.
I think nicely placed. I think, tell me the other thing, like, because when I speak to, in my past roles, I had a large team, so I used to meet with recruiters on a constant basis. And one of the things I still remember, like there's a lot of time, there was a lot of churn. So is it particular to recruitment industry or in general, right? Like either people join in, they try out and they feel that it's not for them, or as you rightly said, the development side of it, they might have not expected it. They thought like they will be only talking to candidates, but you have to also build the business as you go. So do you think it's like, like it's across the industry, like is recruitment has a standard way of churn, or it's because the toll is too high, the expectations are high, that's why people, keep on moving?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. I think there's some really young people who join the industry and they have great communication skills, but if you put them in front of a CFO who's a big decision maker, is that CFO actually going to connect with, this is controversial and I hope I'm not offending anyone, but is that CFO going to, give a financial accountant role that is worth a $25,000 fee to a 21-year-old who can't build a connection with that CFO face to face? So I think it's dependent on the agencies that they join and if they're actually set up for success. And if those little things are recognized and can be taught and combated early, then the churn wouldn't be so much.
That's wonderful, because I think you rightly said, right? It's all about the environment, it's about the children, and so it's about the support structure. Because you are very right, like because there's so many people who love this industry, right? And they want to join it, and when they join, if they're not well supported, might not get the best out of it, and they feel it's not for them, but they were just not well supported.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me move to the billing, right? As you mentioned, right? So here's the question. I think everybody watching is secretly asking themselves, I'm billing, I am hitting targets. On paper, everything looks fine, but something does not feel right anymore. What's actually going on and what they should do? If on paper they feel everything they're hitting right, but somehow I feel that things are not moving in the right direction. So what's happening?
Yeah, these are the conversations I love the most with my candidates, because as a recruiter, we need to understand motivations of why people are looking or why people want to make a move. And these are the conversations where you can actually get really deep with your candidates, because technically there isn't anything wrong. You're making money, you're billing, you might be a top performer in your office, but there's still not something sitting right in your gut. And sometimes I think it's as simple as you've stopped growing or you've stopped learning. And if that is the environment that you're in, that's okay. Sometimes environments have a natural expiry date, and there isn't anything wrong with that. And I think as a society, we've been taught that if everything's great and you're making money, like, why aren't you happy? Just stick it out, of course. Like, just go with it. But we are human and our brains need to grow and we need to thrive. And sometimes if you've stopped growing and learning, then that makes that feeling exasperated. So I think sometimes, it could be a leadership change, a cultural shift, or they could just be, time's up at that agency. You might have been with that agency for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Sometimes there's an expiry date, and it's completely okay and natural to just want to see what else is out there.
I think so rightly said. And sometimes, like you're right, like you want to challenge yourself. So think about like you and me. We started at some point in our life, gave up security of having a job to start our own business. And it was the right time. We decided now we should give it a try. We were very happy with the other things. Pay was right, everything was right. Something inside us was pushing for, giving a shot at our own agency or the business.
Exactly. And if you look at your history, Kush, like on LinkedIn, you have got the most surprising pivot into what you're doing now, because you've basically launched a tech agency when you've been in more of that nurturing people and cultural type positions in the past. So, you obviously weren't feeling something deep down in your gut, and it's nice to have been able to follow that dream. And like I said, if it doesn't work, that's fine, but it's working. So
that's so true. That is so true. You're absolutely right. Like, just on I would say, like I had a master's in robotics in here. I think about that was my background, but I was more in program director role where, like you're looking after people, you're making sure the team is fine. So you're not doing things. You are making sure the delivery is done, and you have to make sure the cultural fit is right and everything. And you're really right. Like at some point I did thought like, if I have to do, now is the time, because at the end of the day, if I have done my education in AI and robotics, now is the time to go and try it out. And I'm very happy I did. I can tell you it's absolutely challenging. Not a single day you say, it is so easy. It's super hard, but it's worth it. Every day can't be more happier what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. We don't look this good every day, do we? We're normally in the trenches with our hoodies on, typing away.
That is so true. So, tell me, I think let's move into the other part, right? How especially the recruit, right, that you place. Look into like, they are the recruiters, they're putting through their agency, what they are thinking inside their head. So let's look into how they can be more effective in reaching out to the role that suits them. So you sit on inside, right? You know which agencies actually walk the talk, and which ones are great pitches. So what are the questions every recruiter should ask before accepting an offer? Most of them think, but they don't ask. What do you think they should be, or your candidates should be asking before joining a pretty good recruitment agency?
Yeah, I sound so woo-woo when I say this, but I do think it is about gut feel, first of all. So first of all, in your first meeting, if you connect with the person that you'll be reporting to or the owner of the agency, keep going with the process. You have to follow your gut, and you need to have that connection, because if you're not connecting on the first interview, really, are you going to get that connection? The second thing is full transparency on bonuses and commission, and is there a deficit model? How does that work? It should be black and white, and there shouldn't be any discrepancies. And I think a lot of people do leave for a different and better commission structure. So I really think that if you fully understand that, then it's going to make sense. Like whenever I'm chatting to a candidate about commission structure, I get out my calculator, we work out the figures together, we work out their billings, what they're billing now versus what it would be in the new agency based on that new agency's threshold and commission structure. Some agencies are not set up for the individual consultant to succeed. Like I've just placed somebody who was in an agency, she hasn't started yet, so I can't say too much, but she was in an agency on a specialist desk with low margins, and her threshold was ×4. So she had to do 4 times her salary before she even saw $1 of commission. Now, in my mind, on that desk with such low margins, might be high volume, but it's, a rotating door. How will you ever hit that threshold? And how would you ever grow that? So some agencies, I think, are not set up for the consultant to succeed. So it's important that you understand that if you are moving agencies, look at what you could potentially be earning, and majority of the time it's normally better.
What you're saying is basically get your expectation right, and the only way you can do is by calculating it, making sure you understand what is the pay structure, what is the billing, what's the commission, and there's no surprises what to land there.
Exactly. And also, understand, I guess, what the hybrid model is, what the flexibility is, get a really good understanding of what the environment is, because different agencies have different ideas on flexibility, and we throw that word around. Majority of people will say, we're an adult environment, we're so flex, but flexibility looks completely different to every single person. So whenever I'm meeting with a candidate and they ask me, what's the flexibility, I actually put that back on them. What is your version of flexibility? Explain that to me, and then I'll explain what their version of flexibility is, and hopefully it's a match.
Sounds awesome. I think that's really, really good. I think so. All people who are hearing today on LinkedIn, as well as when it will go on YouTube, make sure that you do ask and be clear what you're getting. So I think maybe, Krystle, at this point, let's take a few questions. Few questions are coming through. So let me take a few questions, and then we can keep on progressing with, the third section of our conversation. So one of the questions which is coming from 𝐸𝐞𝐜𝐫 is, what's the biggest challenge about the career change and how to overcome it?
Yeah, I think it goes back down to fear again, because like I was saying before, it's human nature. And I think we've been ingrained, especially millennials, us millennials, we've been told, go to work hard, stay in the job until you retire. So I think just that fear factor is probably the hardest aspect for the candidate to make the change. And then learning a new way of life. So every agency, like I mentioned just before, is going to have a different expectation or a different view on flexibility and what that looks like. So just adapting to the new way of life, I think, is probably hardest. But honestly, once you make that decision, it's easy. Just go with it. What's the worst that can happen? Life is so short.
True. You have one shot, make it worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's move to, there's another few questions, but what we'll do, we'll take as questions comes, as well as towards the end. So I think this is something which I also, again, looks like I've been watching your LinkedIn quite effectively before our conversation. So you mentioned something on LinkedIn that really got me thinking that, a US agency that only hired ex-accountant, cleaned them up, and they produced $600,000 in billing. Wow.
Yeah.
What does that say about who actually succeed in recruitment, and what skills matter more than people think?
Yeah. I actually got onto this podcast from another recruiter friend, Sarah. We used to work together at Randstad. She sent me this podcast. Sometimes we're a bit of recruitment nerds and we're like, oh, let's listen to this podcast on a Saturday while we're on a walk, and then we'll talk about it. But this podcast really resonated with me because they only hire ex-accountants and they recruit in accounting and finance. So it's like industry into recruitment. And it really got me thinking, because that's how I fell into recruitment. I was a travel agent, and then I jumped in and recruited travel agents. Like, who would be better to place travel agents than an ex-travel agent who knows what I'm talking about, who knows all the systems and the codes and what the whole industry is about. So I think recruiters who have worked in the industry that they're recruiting in make very, very good recruiters. I also think it can be learnt. I've worked in industries that I haven't been in, transactional finance. I've never been an accounts payable officer or a credit officer or a credit manager, and I was extremely successful in those industries, and business support. So I think it's a two-way street. Depending on how you learn is dependent on how successful you are. But I think if you're starting in recruitment, the smartest thing to do if you don't have any recruitment experience is try and recruit in the industry that you're more familiar with. I don't think we see that enough anymore here in Australia. And I did another LinkedIn post, which I actually recruited a HR recruitment consultant, and this agency was open to looking at somebody from a HR background. And that was so refreshing, because that's how I got my big break in from the travel industry. This is what this billion-dollar recruitment agency in the US is doing, where their consultants are billing $600K. Is giving people a chance from industry. Now, that role was filled in 2 weeks, probably one of my quickest filled roles in Rec2Rec. And they're giving someone a chance from HR industry into becoming a HR recruiter. So it's definitely not seen enough. And I'm actually about to launch something that will hopefully combat that. I can't say too much. It's still in the planning stage, but I am hoping that if we launch this idea, agencies will be a bit more receptive into taking people from industry and then training them up into recruitment with Jolie's support.
I think you're so right. I think what you mentioned is, if a person already is from industry, they already have a lot of ideas, a lot of knowledge, so they can suss out very quickly and be very effective. On the other side, you also talked about the support structure which is needed, which you also talked in a previous when we discussed one of the things that makes a good recruiter versus person who is struggling. I think you're very right. We'll be really looking forward to hear your announcement again on LinkedIn about your new things that you're launching. I really love the idea, not just placing people, but as you would like to support people as well, because you want to make sure that they are successful in their role.
Yeah, thank you. Stay tuned for that one.
So I think quickly, maybe let me take one question before we. So this question is coming from Sheep. I think the question says, do you think AI will change the role of recruitment, or simply will make it more efficient?
Or simply will what?
Or
Make
simply
it
will be more efficient.
Yes. I love all the AI chat. It's very overwhelming, to be honest, especially not for a big tech head. Like, I'm not techie at all. I think AI is going to streamline recruitment and take away all the fiddly bits and pieces that us recruiters do not like doing. Like, we don't like putting notes in the system. We don't like formatting resumes. We don't like, fiddly stuff like that. We're in sales. We like talking. We like building relationships. We enjoy going out for coffee with our clients and our candidates. So AI definitely can't take that human part away, and it can't take away the emotional intelligence. But I do think AI will enhance recruiters' processes and make us a bit faster in some of the things that we probably push to the side and then think, oh crap, it's the end of the week and I don't have any notes in my CRM or my ATS. So AI will definitely enhance that. So I think embracing that side of AI and systems that do that, such as yours, is going to help us recruiters to do the things that we're really good at, which is relationship building and communication.
Yeah, and you're very right. I think last week I was on as a panel speaker on the forum, which was the future of work, which jobs will go, which jobs will stay. And you would not believe, I think you touched 100%, Krystle. And we talked about the same thing, right? AI is not going to take anybody's job. AI is going to take away the boring stuff if you let it take it, right? Because at the end of the day, these soft skills are more important than ever before. Because now, you are the one making decisions. You are the one building connections. You are the one who knows what the hiring manager needs and how they like, which candidate they hired last time. So that like what preferences are, which things they don't like, which cultural fit they want. AI AI can help you with all that shortlisting and taking notes and things like that. But at the end of the day, you are the one making it happen.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Like, my most favorite thing to do is, be in a job brief face to face with a client and tell them about a candidate that I'm thinking of on the spot, and brief them on the candidate, and I don't even need to send a resume because that candidate is in my head. AI can't do that. That is the human touch. And I don't think we'll ever lose that.
And just on that, because you also have a personal touch with that, the trust that comes with already have built over the time. So even if you tell that to a candidate, the same was with me when I was in the program director role. I used to have a number of recruiters in fast dial because they are your favorite friends. The moment somebody resigns or leaves, you would like to just get hold to make sure that you have the CVs, in place before the even person leaves. You want that interview person starting before the person checks out. Definitely having a recruiter, but that builds over the time, right? The relationship, you trust them, their advice, their opinion on the candidates, and you just pick up from there.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
So let's move into the next part, which is, what is one thing that separates the recruiter who builds incredible long-term career from the ones who get burnt out within 18 months? And what can it be for?
Yeah. I definitely think it's mindset and discipline. Like, recruitment is all about reps in the bank, building that confidence. I was taught back in the day to have my diary set out the same every day, and it's all about repeating tasks while you're trying to build up that confidence and getting to understand who you are and what a recruitment consultant does, especially in the early days. So I think the ones that burn out might not be doing the repetitive tasks as they should be, whether that's your market mapping in the mornings or your candidate reach out in the morning and then your business development calls in the afternoon, or vice versa. Like, I think recruitment can be very structured. Of course, we're going to have days where we have to be on the fly and a new job comes in and we need to go and source and we've got an urgent request. Like, you have to be fluid and flexible. But maybe the ones that burn out are the ones that haven't been taught those basic recruitment 101 skills. I think it can be taught. And I think if you've got good leadership and management, there are also amazing programs out there that actually teach and coach these types of things now. So yes, it definitely can be taught, but I think it needs to be taught early, and it needs to just be something that's done automatically every day.
I think, Krystle, I would probably add one more thing, being cheeky here. The tools could also help you, right? Like, if you have the tools to support you, right? Like, where AI can take note from you rather than you have to subscribe, where AI can go and chase candidates for you. They have not sent the signed up document for you, or, chase for the invoice or look for the prospects, where definitely can, be a support engine for you as an assistant. That can also help a little bit so that you can focus on, your code.
Absolutely, exactly. Like, even yesterday I was at a client meeting and I can't touch type. So I look at my computer when I type, and I'm speaking to this director, you know, of Melbourne, and I'm looking at my keypad while I'm typing, where if I had a system that recorded the notes automatically, we could just have a natural conversation. So definitely, I think hopefully there's not so many recruiters getting burnt out now, you know, in the next 6 months, because their companies are introducing the right systems and tools and the AI side that are going to help them not burn out.
And I think, again, being second cheeky part, you know, if anybody is looking for any of these note takers as well as systems where AI can help, to our team, JobGen can help you, because we have built the whole PS and CRM systems for the recruiters to help them make their life easier. Where AI can, you know, like screen candidates, you know, from LinkedIn and other sources for them, where, you know, AI can even shortlist for them, rank them, as well as, you know, like take notes and other things. Definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know, you know, we caught up last week and the week before and speaking about your system, and like, it's mind blowing and I keep referring back to this, but like, I used to fax my timesheets to Sydney, and my candidates used to handwrite their timesheets. Like, this is mind blowing to me that there is AI and systems that can do this. And I think you just need to be open-minded and adaptable and actually put it in place, which is my problem. But I will get there, Kush, I promise you. I'll be using that note taker in no time.
So I think let's move to one of the, I would say, like one of the most interesting part of this conversation, where I want to explore more, right? Joel is a female-led, and you're proud of it. But what I want to ask you is something a bit harder. Is recruitment industry actually good for women? Or there's still a gap between what agencies says about the culture and what women actually experience from inside?
Yeah.
It could be controversial, but I thought I really wanted to ask you, because it's a female-led rec-to-rec agency. What do you think?
Yeah. I think the recruitment industry is fantastic for women. You know, there are women in this industry who are taking home over $500,000 a year. They're, you know, $1 million billers, and they're taking home half of that as their salary. They are earning more than some doctors in Australia without a degree. These women and girls are in their 20s. Like, this is not heard of in any other industry. I think that it's crazy that nobody is teaching us in our career seminars in high school that recruitment can even be a career option. Like I mentioned before, majority of us fall into it. Nobody told me that when I was 25 years old, I could make $60,000 in commission in my first year in recruitment, that I would buy a house, that I would go on multiple holidays a year. Like, I just didn't know that existed when I was in a travel agency making $45,000 a year. And I moved to recruitment and made $110,000 in my first year. So it's just insane that not more women know about this as a career. I really do think that women should be exploring this as a career. Like, you can earn more than a doctor, and you still get to use all of your beautiful feminine skills, your relationship building, your emotional intelligence, like all the bits that make us women is applicable to recruitment. So yes, I absolutely think that recruitment is an amazing career for women, and place men as well. Even though I'm female-led, rec-to-rec, I have placed quite a few males, but majority of the people that I've placed so far have been female, and I think that that's just because we've got that emotional connection. So would love to place more men, but you know, I think it's an amazing industry.
So I think if I look at the stats, you know, the woman makes up to 46.9% of Australian workforce. Yet female-led recruitment agencies remains clearly minority. So what you are doing with Joel is something genuinely different.
Yeah, and I think just like going back to that, you know, we're definitely seeing more female leaders in the recruitment industry, which obviously I love. But there are still a lot of male leaders, which is fantastic. I think if you are a woman, it's important to join a recruitment agency that actually still understands, if you are reporting to a male, understands that women are a bit more complex. We have blocky ears, guys. We have a monthly issue called a period. And, you know, that's a bit controversial to go on a podcast on LinkedIn and say that P word. But there are still agencies out there that are a little bit old school and might not understand that women do have different things happening to them that men don't. So if you're not in a supportive management, and regardless if it's a male or a female, then you're in the wrong agency. Because there are agencies out there with men and women who support women through all of their different life stages.
I think that is so beautifully said. I think you're very right. Like, because women are the ones who have to go when they, for the leaves, when they have child, like, so definitely, I think there's a lot of time they have to take even breaks in their career and things. So definitely, I think there should be a more support to women's, definitely. Let's take questions. I think one of the questions coming from John, it's right on the screen. John is saying, when hiring recruiters, what is one quality you're looking for that does not usually shows up on the resume?
So many qualities that are not on the resume that I look for. That first interaction. I'm sure everyone realizes, but if you're speaking to a recruiter, that recruiter is deciding if they're going to put you forward for a role or for a job. So you need to impress us. You need to build a relationship with us and you need to build that connection. So that's definitely the first part that I look for. Can I have a conversation with this person? Is this person influential? Does this person have influencing selling skills when they're speaking to me? Are they presenting themselves in a way that I can then tell my client how excited I am to actually represent this candidate? So there's definitely a lot that's not on the resume that I look for, and majority is around those interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence, and presentation as well. Like, I've jumped online to meet it's actually only happened once. I've jumped online to meet somebody and she did sort of say, oh, sorry, I'm working from home today. Like, I don't have my hair or makeup done, which is so fine. Sometimes I don't look like this every day I work from home. However, her whole presentation was off, her whole vibe was off, and I couldn't get that connection. So it's the whole package that I look for that's not on paper. You need to impress me to get in front of my client.
That is so true. And I think that's where the human, as you rightly said, right? Like, the AI can do very good CV selections and help you with CVs and all this stuff. But interpersonal skill, the soft skills now are more important than ever before.
Absolutely. And AI is never going to hopefully, unless the robots take over and it's like Terminator 2, but AI is not going to take that away from us recruiters.
I think few questions are coming on AI. Looks like that's our topic of the time. Another question coming: how do you think AI will change the role of recruiter? Which skills do you believe will become even more important as a result? I believe we just answered this one. Skill, but what do you think? Like, anything you want to add? Say?
I think the soft skills, and I think if you are hiring for your team, for your recruitment teams, it's important to hire people with emotional intelligence, and it's important to hire people who can build relationships and trust. Clients are going to spend $25,000 on a placement fee with your internal recruiters if they trust them, if they can build that emotional intelligence. So I think that that's the most important thing, when you are looking to hire, that AI can't take over.
Definitely. I think there's a very nice comment coming from Sean. He says that I started in construction recruitment as a career. Now have progressed to be a successful project manager in HVAC recruitment. That can be a single huge stepping stone for your career. So that is so good, right? Like, it's not the end, like, it's just could be a great start, right? Because you meet so many people, even one of the client that you place in can get you into another job.
Exactly. Hi, Sean. Exactly. Sean's done the reverse. So he's built his emotional intelligence. He probably went out and floated himself into his new career. And now, he's absolutely killing it. Probably from a lot of the skills that he learned in recruitment. Even if he's not in it anymore, I'm sure he still uses a lot of those skills that he would have done when he was in recruitment all those years ago.
That is so nice. And to be honest, like, it touches back to your previous point, right? You have one shot at life. Do what works, right? Like, you can start somewhere, then move into recruitment, or you can start in recruitment. You can move out as well. Let's explore.
Exactly. I really wanted my tagline to be with Jolie Recruitment: life's short, don't work somewhere shit, but it wasn't very professional. So I think everyone just needs to remember that you're not stuck in your job. If it's not working out for you, you can explore other options. You don't have to be unhappy. Life's too short.
I love your tagline, by the way. It's so catchy.
Maybe I'll bring it in for this financial year, because I've joined today with like a pep in my step, and maybe I'll change my tagline, completely change my branding.
It was very catchy, very catchy. Right, coming to the end of it, one of the last things that I really would like to ask almost all guests,
Mm-hmm.
So if you can go back and give yourself, a younger self, one piece of advice, Krystle, at the very start of your recruitment career, things nobody told you, what that would be. One piece of advice you can give to your younger self, looking back 15 years ago when you started your recruitment career, what that advice would be.
I think it would be, give yourself time. Learning a whole new industry and a whole new job is really, really overwhelming. And I don't think that there's enough emphasis on how not difficult, but how much of a learning curve it can be. I actually hated recruitment when I first started. Here's a little story. I hated it. The first few months, I thought, what am I doing? I kept calling all the candidates clients because I came from the travel industry and we would call everyone a client. So every time I was talking to my team, I was talking about clients, but I meant candidates. I couldn't get the lingo right. It took me a couple of months to get it. And then one day it just clicked. And I remember the moment that it clicked for me. So yeah, give yourself time, give yourself a bit of grace, give yourself the ability to actually enjoy the learning process too. I think we have such high expectations of ourselves. We think we need to know it all and be really good at something in week 1 or week 2 or month 2 or month 3, that it's actually okay if it takes a minute, and it's okay that you're learning, and just be patient with yourself. I did not start 15 years ago, honestly, and I'd be crying because I didn't understand, like, who do I float to where? That I would think that I would own my own recruitment agency and be doing it all myself. So yeah, it's just crazy to think back that at the start, I know I come across probably as like confident and this super intelligent woman, but at the start it wasn't like that. So it's taken me 15 years to be this confident in recruitment. And I'm not super intelligent either.
So beautifully said, Krystle, because I think you're right, like, because as most of us, thanks to all these Instagram these days and TikToks, compare a lot of other people, but at the end of the day, we all need to give us time, right? Because it's our own story we are writing. We are the hero of our own book. So better just give yourself time and learn over the time, because all those people that we see today are super successful. If you look back, they all have put hard 8-10 years of hard work to reach where they are today.
Yeah, exactly. And majority of millionaires, this is a bit of a stat, I think, majority of millionaires and billionaires, they're not there until they're 40 or mid 40s or 50s. So you have time, everyone. Relax, have fun. Life is meant to be lived.
That is so beautiful. No, I really loved your message, So let's close it then. Krystle, thank you so much. I think I really enjoyed our conversation today. Really, it was so much fun, and learning from your own experience, sharing with people who want to go into recruitment, what they should aim for, what question they should ask, as well as how they should. If you're in recruitment in Australia, or you want someone who actually knows what agencies are worth your time, go and find Krystle at jorecruitment.com.au. She places recruiters every single week. She knows the market in and out. She's clearly not afraid of telling the truth, as you heard today. If you want any tool that can make your story land wherever you apply, you can always reach out to us. Whether you're a recruiter or a job seeker, come and find JobGen, because we help both candidates to help with the CVs and job tracking and tailoring. Also recruiters setting up their own business. Please find us. If today's conversation really helped you, share with one person who needs to hear. That's how we grow. Until next time, keep going. Right opportunity is closer than you think. And as Krystle said, give yourself time.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Kush. That was so fun. I was so nervous before I was coming on, but yeah, that was really fun. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't offend anyone with my controversial little takes on a few things.
And that's what we love, Krystle. You have to be, you were absolutely awesome.
Don't cancel me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.